Hey Misfits! Welcome to DIY Sunday!
This week we're going to be making self-love jars.
What are self-love jars for? Give me a little bit of backstory.
So basically self-love jars are meant to help with your mentality. It is supposed to have ingredients that are strictly for you and that represent you. And that way, if you're having a bad mental health day or just a bad day in general, you're not having the greatest vibes. So it helps you stay grounded a little bit and just clear your mentality up. Because the stuff about self-love jars, magic in general, it's whatever you put in it is what you're going to receive.
Okay.
Something to start off is that you're going to need your favorite incense stick. So for me, I chose Dragon Blood.
I have patchouli and lily because I like those scents the most.
Okay. Another important ingredient is pink Himalayan salt.
Got it.
The next one is sea salt. It can be coarse, it could be really fine as long as it's sea salt. The next, I like to use rosemary simply because rosemary is known for better memory. So for me, I put it in mine to jog my memory whenever I use it.
I didn't know that. I like that.
Yes. The next thing you're going to need is one or a few different types of gems or rocks. Again, try to pick one out that is mainly for you. I chose amethyst and peridot.
I picked rose quartz just because I like the color.
Yeah. Like, as long as it's for you. If you have a really nice rock that you found outside and you love, go ahead and find a jar that can fit in it. Obviously, I done forgot the most important thing. You need a jar.
I have one.
The next one is optional, but just get a spray if you want, like a perfume or cologne.
I have this one. I know you say it doesn't smell like anything, but I actually smell it, and it's very calming to me.
Okay. The next thing you'll need is any type of fragrance oil.
Just any type or specific?
Yeah, anytime. Like, it has to represent you, if it's your favorite smell, if you're just drawn to it, something that you just like the smell of.
Okay.
You're also going to need rose petals. They can be new, they can be dried out, obviously. But you are going to need a few rose petals.
Can they be fake rose petals, or do they have to be real rose petals?
They can be fake. Again, it's all your intention behind it. It just represents something.
Okay.
And then lastly, you are going to need candles. So you can use one color, you can use multiple colors. I'm very chaotic, so I like using a lot of things. So I chose green, red, and white.
That makes sense. I chose mine because it reminded me of love, and I associate colors with things, and if it's the wrong color, I will lose it.
Okay.
Alright, so what do we do first?
Do we have a funnel?
Somewhere.
Never mind. Okay.
I have not got a clue.
This is just going to be messy. Okay. So, first things first, sleeves are coming off.
They're coming off. So you're ripping them off?
I'm the Hulk. But first things first is you are going to want to light your incense stick.
And do not do this without adult supervision.
That's why I'm here.
No, our adults are our cats.
So also be careful of the ash because you want to get some of the ash in here as well.
Oh, okay. So open this as I destroy things. Open this.
Yeah. But basically you're going to stick the whole stick in there. And then if yours does have a top like hers, try to like keep it enclosed as much as possible because you want to get that smoke just filled up in there so it leaves essence of it.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, yours is tiny. So basically you want to end up looking like Becca's. You want it to be really cloudy. If yours has a top, once it gets to that point, go ahead and take the sticks out and then close the top. That way it stays in there. So basically we're just going to try and get this really cloudy mixture inside of our bottles.
So basically.
Once your bottles are filled and you have this awesome smoky texture within it, you're then going to release all of the smoke. This is my favorite part because I just like watching the smoke slowly come out.
That is really cool.
Oh yeah. While some of it is still inside, what you're going to do next is grab your pink salt. Depending on how big the jar is going to determine how much pink salt you are going to put in. So for a jar like mine, I'm going to fill it basically almost halfway. Whereas for a jar like Becca's, she's probably only going to fill it a little bit. Now we are going to put the pink salt in twice. So keep this in mind while you do it. So at this moment, if you have one set of rocks or gems that you plan on using, go ahead and put it in. If you plan on using multiple, only put one set in.
Okay, rocks are now in there.
Well, yours are. This is my very dangerous mission right now.
How so?
Because that's lavender.
Oh, why are you putting lavender in there? You're allergic! Part 2 of Sammy is dead.
I know I'm allergic to lavender, but I love the smell of lavender. And that gets me in trouble every time because then I start coughing and stuff. Next up is the sea salt. Keep in mind, again, of how much space you have left in your jar. So if you have a large jar like mine, you want to use enough to where it actually covers all of the rocks you had just used. The next step is you're going to take your fragrance oil and put however much you want to put in there. For this next step, you're going to take your crushed rosemary or regular rosemary. It can be store-bought or it could be fresh. And you just want to put a nice layer on top. If you're like me and picked out multiple gems, before adding the gems, you're going to want to put another small layer of sea salt. This is where we add the rose petals at. Again, depending on the space of your jar is going to depend on how many you can fit. And then finally, we're going to top it off with a little bit of pink salt. Now, you don't want to fill it up completely all the way because you are going to use a little bit of wax in there as well. Now, if yours has a lid like Becca's, you want to put a nice, even, small layer, if possible, if not just a few drops, of your candles inside of it. For any additional ingredients that you might have, now would be the good time to add it, like if you chose perfume. If you have a jar like mine with an open top, what you're going to do is you're going to take your candles and completely fill the rest of it with your wax to seal it off. If you have a jar like Becca's, you're going to put a nice layer of wax on the inside. That way it gives a nice even layer to hold it together. Then you're going to close it off, completely seal it with the lid, and then put more wax on top of it to completely seal it. Now, anyone who used an actual stem for the flowers, y'all get a cool wand. So, once you have finished sealing it with your wax, it should look relatively like this. Mine is still drying, and this is Becca's. So basically, any time where you feel like you are having just a bad day or you're just not feeling in the greatest of spirits, just go ahead and grab this jar and just hold it close to you. I like to physically say it's going to get better or it will be better, but you can come up with your own phrase, whichever one fits best for you. And that's how you make a self-love jar.
Thanks for joining us on DIY Sunday this week, guys. Stay tuned for next week's DIY.
Be welcomed
And get creative.
Bye.
Bye.